The performance comparison tool from Optmyzr helps you quickly understand how two things are performing relative to one another. The most simple example is to use it for date range comparisons, but you can also use it to compare networks, devices, or different campaigns against one another. Let's start with a simple example looking at date ranges. By default, the tool is going to look at week before last and last week across all your campaigns, all your networks and devices. The comparison is already done, so you can see very quickly that we've had 154% more impressions and a 1% decrease in cost over that date range. You can also segment this. So this was the whole account data, but what if we wanted to see this on a campaign by campaign basis? We can open up this segment, and now we can start to understand that it's the GDN campaign that's driving the majority of change in impressions. Other segments to choose from include devices, networks, as well as ad groups. Let's take a quick look at how we're performing across different networks. And there you have it. Now we can also do a filter. So in case we were looking at ad groups, we could search for specific names here. And we can of course also change the columns that we look at. So if you care about cost per conversion or return on ad spend, you can choose those columns and add them to your view right there. Now let me show you how you could use this tool to see the impact of a structural change you made. So say that you know the exact date when you made a change. You can put in a custom date right here, but just for the sake of argument, let's say that the change was made last Saturday. So we're comparing last week versus this week. Now, the change may have been something like turning one campaign into multiple campaigns, or turning one ad group into a set of new ad groups. So what you do is you choose your structure that you had before, and you compare it to the structure you had after the change. This is just for the sake of argument. Let's say we just had this campaign up until Saturday when we made the change, and then as of last Sunday, that campaign had been split into two new campaigns. Now we can very easily click the compare button and see what kind of stats changes we had based on that change that we made.